Viewers, you're watching the Hard Facts straight from the CNN News 18 Federal Bank Primetime Studio. Viewers, water cannons, Lathis, abuses hurled at pro-Nirbhaya protesters today as they made their way to the Secretariat where Mamata Banerjee governs. Look at these pictures. Look at the scenes, viewers. No one is spared. You'd think the state was holding back some kind of criminals. But they aren't. They're crusaders for justice. They're the hapless people of Mamata Banerjee's own state, her fellow Bengalis, the people who voted for her, mothers, sisters, daughters, sons, women like her. But above all, most of them were students, the youth, the future of this country, the future of West Bengal. Instead of hearing the voice of the future of Bengal, instead of assuring the people that Nirbhaya's interests would be safeguarded, instead of naming and shaming those who in her administration allegedly colluded to deny Nirbhaya justice, Mamata unleashed the full might of the state upon the crusaders for a cause. What was their cause, viewers? Their cause is simple. That 50% of Bengal, the women of Bengal, are treated with respect. That their safety is secure. That they can go out and work. That they can go out and earn a living to bring up their children. That was their cause, viewers. These protesters weren't in any way asking for anything much more than basic human rights, viewers. What did they get? Not just lathis, water cannon, tear gas, but TMC leaders have rubbished these crusaders for justice. They've called them clowns in a circus, goons on a picnic. If you are watching in Kolkata, it's quite possible that some of your college-going children were part, viewers, of this protest. Are they clowns in a circus? Are they goons on a picnic? Is a protest for justice, viewers, a circus? Shockingly, not just contempt for the voice of the people, the crackdown is in complete violation of Supreme Court orders. You'll remember, just last week the Supreme Court had said that Mamata Banerjee must respect the right of the students to protest. You will remember, viewers, and it's a sharp contradiction. I wish I could show you those pictures. When those that wanted to desecrate the crime scene marched upon RG Kaur Hospital, the police was nowhere to be found, viewers. They were in fact facilitators. But today, when the youth of Bengal is out to protest on behalf of Nirbhaya, that same comatose police is attacking them, is lifting them off the streets, is putting them into buses, is lathi charging them. That same state administration is calling them goons on a picnic. Viewers, the Supreme Court had asked the Mamata Banerjee government to ensure that the democratic right of students to protest is protected. One would have thought that Mamata Banerjee would have been brimming with empathy. The violence unleashed by Mamata is not unlike the violence she has faced as an ordinary crusader for justice. She knows what it feels like to bear the crack of a lathi on the head or on one's back. Mamata Banerjee is the first to admit that her political rise owes its success to the power of protest. Mamata Banerjee has crusaded all her life. She has been one of those students. In fact, Mamata once came close to losing her life on the street while marching to the writers' building. Indeed, in 1993, she was one among the protesters taking on the mighty communist state government. She would go on to protest in 2006 in Shingur, in 2007 in Nondigram. So what's changed? What has led Mamta to do unto these students what was done unto her? Why would she disrespect an instrument of democracy that she has embraced so wholeheartedly herself? Today, the people she has turned her back upon are saying Mamta is no longer a people's chief minister. They say she has become public enemy number one. Listen in, viewers.
आरजीकर का डॉक्टर को जो मर्डर हुआ है, धर्षण हुआ है, इसकी प्रतिवादी हूँ मैं।
आप लोग क्या चाहते हैं कि ममता बनर्जी रिजाइन करें?
अवश्य, सर्टेनली। ये व्यर्थ मुख्यमंत्री जस्टिस तभी मिलेगा जब ये औरत है ना, वो गद्दी से उसको उतारना है। बस।
Viewers, Mamta Banerjee has now contributed to becoming a public liability, or a liability for the public, viewers. They are calling now for her resignation. What's strange, viewers, is that all those self-styled saviors of democracy that protested the barricading of farmers who were crusading against the 3 farm laws at the Shingur border in the national capital region are silent. At that time, viewers, they were saying that democracy is backsliding in our country because the Modi government has held back farmers from voicing their concerns, for treating farmers like criminals when they are actually the victims. Where are those crusaders for democracy, viewers, today? Where are all those who went on candlelight vigils, who ate pizza with the farmers? Why aren't they out there today, viewers? Where are they today? I can name names, viewers, but I won't. I'll spare you that. Why are they silent today? Viewers, let's ask some fundamental questions. Answers are owed to you and your children. Let me bring in Orko Nog, a political analyst, viewers, who backs the TMC. We have with us Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, senior fellow of the IPCS, who has actually been at the receiving end of state-sanctioned tyranny, viewers. He will tell you what it's like to be turned into an agent against the state. There's Tehseen Poonawala, who's a political analyst and one of those crusaders for democracy, viewers, who has, I know, personally gone out to India Gate, etc., and stood up for democracy. And I will ask him why the party he backs today, the one who crusades for democracy as they claim, why are they silent? Why aren't they launching a counter-protest along with the BJP, along with the left today, in this fight to secure democracy in Bengal? Sanju Verma is a national spokesperson of the BJP. And she'll have a lot to say, viewers, because her government at the center has been deemed dictatorial for the last 10 years. Today, she's entitled to ask some question. Orko Nog, let me ask you first. What happened, sir? What happened to the freedom to voice grievances in Bengal, sir? What has happened to democracy in Bengal? What has happened to Mamta Banerjee? Is the charge dictator Didi validated today? Is it justified?
Well, Today there was a protest which was supposed to be organized by some organization which in reality did not exist. There was a litigation also before the High Court where any of the public interest litigants had made parties to the people who were, coming up and saying that there will be a protest, but nobody came down before the High Court representing their cause as well. And today what happened was, which political party was organizing it, which political party took a responsibility, I do not know, because you are referring to the Singur movement, you had referred to the movement of 21st July 1991. All those were movements which was taken responsibility by a political party. In 91, it was the Congress, and during the Singur, it was the All India Trinamool Congress. There were particular responsibility fixed. Political parties and people in responsibility.
There is also something called spontaneous public protest. You may not have heard of it in Bengal.
But that exists.
That exists, and those are leaderless. Those hang on. They have no political affiliations or Konog. And let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Because on this, hang on. On this RG, one second. On this RG core.
They have criminal affiliations.
Okay, you want to call students criminals? You're sounding much like. No, hang on. 1 second, Orkonok.
We do not need molesters to come up on road and protest.
Okay, you don't need people to come out on the roads to protest. Is that what you're saying?
I believe you are less of hearing. Molesters are not invited to come up and protest.
Molesters.
Because those
Viewers,
people who were giving the press conference,
viewers
they have
tonight,
criminal cases of molestation against them.
Okay.
They were out on bail. I believe you should tell your viewers that, because that is also necessary.
Right. One of those people, viewers, that, hang on now, just keep quiet, listen to me. Now, viewers, look at the irony. Look at the irony, viewers. You have a situation where a principal of the RG Kaur College is being promoted willfully by the state government, shielded.
And CBI is taking money from the RG.
One second.
Oh my God.
No, it's okay. Let this gentleman expose. Let this gentleman expose the TMC for what it has become.
Listen, today with the
let him expose. Let us give him unadulterated time. Speak, sir. Speak. Abuse these protesters.
Mr. Shiv Shankar, it is the invitation we are giving to the BJP to come down to the speech so that the people of Bengal dissociate themselves from what the political gimmick they are being trying to do. BJP in Bengal is something which is not to be considered a political party. We don't consider BJP a sensible organization.
You consider them what? Termites? What do you consider them?
Consider
cockroaches?
Them anti-India organization.
Anti-India organization. This is the respect, viewers, that the TMC has for the opposition. This, viewers, is the face of fascism sitting on national TV tonight. Orkonok is the face of fascism. The F word, I am using the F word tonight. Tehseen Poonawalla. I'm using the F word tonight.
On national TV.
On national TV. Fascism. This is the face of fascism sitting there today, viewers, on national TV. 1 second. He's an F-bomb. He is an F-bomb, viewers. He's a fascist bomb. Now, hang on. Let me tell you something, viewers. These crackdowns are not in isolation. Ever since the RG Kaur brutal rape and murder, look at the timeline. On 18th August 2024, Tehseen Poonawalla. Pay attention to the dates. The police lathi charged the rival football fans. Football fans seeking justice for Nirbhaya. Now, viewers, football fans, and so much so that the players came out in support of their own fans. Can you believe it? 21st January 2023, Kolkata police lathi charged Indian Secular Front protesters, ISF protesters protesting against alleged political violence by TMC MLA Naushad Siddiqui. So the gentleman Orkonok says that, people didn't identify themselves. Even when they identify themselves, viewers, they are beaten black and blue. 14th February 2024, police lathi charged BJP leaders protesting against Sandesh Khali case. Sukanta Majumdar was even injured. So here is a case where the protesters identify themselves Abhijit Iyer-Mitra and they are still fair game. 20th October, Kolkata police cracks down on protesting teachers at midnight. And we know what happened there. Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, before I bring in Sanju Verma and I bring in the other political voices like Tehseen Poonawala, let me ask you specifically, what do you make of what you're seeing? Am I today in some ways being unfair to Mamata Banerjee and her government?
Not at all, Rahul. I just have two quick points to make. First, looking at these images as you've asked me to, it just reinforces the image of Kolkata police as being clumsy, incompetent, and racked with corruption. And I'll tell you why. Yesterday, they were putting out videos of people apparently claiming. Now, we have no idea of the bona fides of these people or the bona fides of that video or the veracity of that video. But they were putting out videos claiming that people are planning violence today. Now, it is 101 of internal security that when people are planning violence, you prevent the assemblage from happening. So you control it at 10 because 10 is fairly easy to control. If 100 people join up together, it becomes tougher. If 1,000 people join up, it becomes a lot tougher. But then you remember yesterday we saw how their investigative team was trampling all inside the seminar hall as well, which they then went on to claim had not been touched and its sanctity had been preserved and everything like that. So I'm sorry, but in all of this, the Kolkata police is coming off as one of the most thoroughly unprofessional forces in the country at the moment, number one. And they deserve every bit of approbation that they get publicly, privately, whatever. Number two, we need to remember this is the same party that was going around supporting the CAA NRC protests, which started off as the Seelampur riots and culminated as the Delhi riots. This is the same party that was going around supporting the farmer protests, where there was a rape, there was the uprooting of telephone poles till the uprooters found out that it was a Canadian company and not Ambani who owned the telephone poles. And then because they were scared for their Canadian visas, they stopped uprooting those poles. These were the same protests where people driving around in Fortuners, which cost 45 lakhs plus, were asking for handouts from the average laborer from Bihar and God knows where else. These were the same protests where people's limbs were being hacked off, if you remember that. These were the same protests where people were coming on Republic Day, tearing down the Indian national flag, putting up the Khalistani flag on the Red Fort, beating up cops. We all saw the visuals of that. And this is the same party that was applauding all of this as great heroism and national service and whatnot. Now, that being the case, why is there a different rule for Delhi and why is there a different rule for Kolkata?
Yes.
Essentially, Mamata Banerjee should invite them for a cup of tea. I heard she's a very good cook. She should invite them outside Nabonno and offer them, kosha mangsho, luchi and tea. Why isn't she doing that? Now, I oppose all protests, including this particular protest, because for me, a protest, if it gets disruptive, should be crushed. But that is not the standard that Mamata Banerjee herself used. No? So if all of those protests in Delhi are legit, this one is also perfectly legit. He should be celebrating them.
Yeah. And don't forget, these were the same people, same parties who were warning that the people would be soon taking to the streets to depose Modi like they did in Bangladesh, viewers.
Like they did Sheikh Hasina.
Exactly. And they said that...
There's the statements from just a few days back.
Yes.
So
and they were loving the prospect of those people coming out to depose Modi. Now, viewers, look at this. Look at the, as Mr. Iyer said, look at the two sets of rules. Now, Sanju Verma, I want to ask you, Mr. The gentleman who, Arko Nag, what does he say? He says that you are all disguised there as BJP and you are leading these protests to do exactly what was done in Bangladesh, and that by itself is undemocratic. How would you like to respond to this gentleman, Arko Nag?
Rahul, first and foremost, let me applaud you for not mincing words and calling out Mamata Banerjee's bluff and calling her out for what she has become and who she is, because I dare say most anchors don't do that. and we all know the reason. They are, slapped with show cause notices for simply airing their views on their own shows on national TV. Second point, coming to Orca, I have done a zillion debates with him on another channel, and I don't want to make this about him versus me, but he's dragged my family and abused my family without provocation. So I will not dignify what he says because he is another TMC gunda who masquerades as a political analyst. But my limited point for your audience, which is the biggest stakeholder, I did not heckle you, Mr. Nag. Please now, let me have my say. You can abuse. You can abuse when your turn comes. You can abuse when your turn comes.
Okay, we are not going to go down that route. No abuses, please. Let's sanitize. Let's get back to the question. Make your point, Sanju Verma.
Thank you. Rahul, there's a famous Italian slogan, or rather Italian saying, which goes like this: believe, obey, and then fight. First they believe, which is what the Janta of West Bengal has been doing. They've been blindly believing Mamata Banerjee. Then they've been obeying. Why is this man giving background music?
It's okay. Now, Mr. Nog, I have told Sanju Verma to get on with it, not to personalize it. She's not doing so. Let her finish her point. You can come in.
Thank you.
She is anti-BJP.
अरे भैया मैंने बोल तो दिया उनको कि now please get on with it, Mr. Nag.
Thank you.
Do you want to filibuster on this show? Do you want to constantly filibuster? Now relax. Yes.
Thank you. Can I just make my points now? First and foremost, let's be very clear. Believe, obey, and then fight. That is how fascism, has a trajectory. That's what they say in Italy. The Janta in West Bengal first believed Mamata Banerjee blindly. They have been obeying Mamata Banerjee blindly since 2011 when she dislodged the CPM. But today in 2024, in barely 12 or 13 odd years, look at the kind of mass uprising against Mamata Banerjee, Rahul. This is not limited to doctors. This is not limited to lawyers. This is not limited to women. This is not limited to students. This is not limited to just the upper or lower middle class. This is West Bengal coming together as one and saying, enough is enough. बहुत हो गया. अति का हमेशा अंत होता है. And the writing is clearly on the wall for Mamata Banerjee to see and take cognizance of. Before I finish my concluding comments, I will just say this. Be it the 2016 Malda riots, the 2017 Bhaduria riots, the 2018 Asansol riots, the 2019 Jadavpur riots, the 2021 Sitakulchi riots, the 2021 post-poll Bengal violence, or the June 2023 Panchayat poll violence related riots. There is one thing which is common. Mamata Banerjee has chosen to trample upon the very democratic ethos that she proudly showcases on the floor of parliament through her MPs. And let me tell you that the court has not once, not twice, 10 seconds. In 2023 June, the Supreme Court said this. The license to hold elections is not a license to violence. If you cannot control the state, tell us. We will look at an alternative mechanism, which is a castigation of Mamata Banerjee.
Viewers, we don't have to go so far back in time. The Supreme Court has actually warned Mamata Banerjee against trampling on protests. Now, Tehseen Punara, I want to ask you one rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Be honest with me.
Totally.
Do you believe that Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is a loyal member of the Congress party in Bengal?
Absolutely. No.
You believe that he serves the best interests of the Congress?
Absolutely.
You know what he has been saying about Mamata Banerjee? Especially in connection with the RG Kaur case.
No, not the cases, but especially in connection with
Especially.
Yes.
And he's been saying that she is a dictator.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, if a very senior member of the Congress party believes so, then what about all those who constantly crusade for democracy in the Congress? Why are they silent? I can understand, fine, you were silent beyond the initial extremely platitudinous tweet. I'm not talking about you personally, I'm talking about the Gandhis, etc. On the RG Kaur case. Fair enough. There was also an attempt to draw false equivalence. Let's, drag in other states. Let's just basically even it all out.
Correct.
But on this issue,
All right.
not a tweet from, Rahul Gandhi and all of that. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he did land up even farmers' protest, I remember.
That's true.
Where is he now?
So, at the onset, I'm glad that my friend Abhijit is not a member of parliament from the BJP, considering what he said about the farmers' protest. He would definitely have got a notice. But the more important point and the more pertinent point about this issue, I actually agree with some of the things Abhijit said, that the West Bengal, the Kolkata police have completely mishandled this. They have no idea of perception, no idea of how to handle it, and they are completely like a deer in front of headlights. Having said that, all I'm asking your viewers is to look at the visuals on your screen, the visuals you're showing. I'm not even asking you to look at the visuals on social media, the very visuals you're showing on your screen. Somebody is throwing stones there. By the way, after demonetization, one man said, no, stone throwing had got over. What happened to that man? 50 days you were supposed to meet him, he's disappeared. Okay, we'll leave that for another day. Stone throwing there. What would happen in Kashmir in stone throwing? Pellets would come. Pellets, blinding people. Is this stone throwing peaceful protesters? You are showing the visuals, your visuals, cars being burnt. It could have been your car, my car, Sanju's car, Orko's car, Abhijit's car. Is this peaceful protest? I am all for protest. Article 19, it's a fundamental right. And I'm all for protest. What happened at Jantar Mantar? How were the wrestlers, the medalists, how was she dragged? Pulled by the hair by the police. I am not supporting Kolkata police, but also the fact is, and it was held up in the Supreme Court, the only arrest made in this rape has been the one done by the Kolkata police. CBI, how long have they got the case? 10 days, 11 days? What have they come up with? As much evidence as the Prime Minister's press conference is zero.
But can I
Why
say
have they
something?
not arrested
On
the
the point
principal?
of the CBI. One second.
What about it?
One second.
How is it
one second.
whataboutery,
No,
ma'am?
just 1 minute. Just 1 second. No,
It
he's,
is whataboutery.
let him
How,
make
ma'am?
his points. He's
always
no,
drag
fine.
BJP into
He has the
everything.
right. He has the right.
Because the BJP should
one
lead,
minute,
because the BJP has completely destroyed
1 minute.
everything that this country stands for.
1 minute. Let me come in here, please. I just want to ask a counter question on the CBI. Look, 1 second. On the CBI point that you raised, that it's taking as much time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It has been given time by the Supreme Court. In fact,
5th
just
September
last
now.
week, so let them.
Because they have
no,
nothing.
1 second.
They came up with nothing.
1 second.
They came
1
up with a
second.
blank report.
They have time till September to submit their report.
5th
Let's
September.
wait. Yeah, 5th September. So by your
Why
own
did they
admission,
do it
they're
in the
working
scene
to
cover?
They're
Because
working
they have nothing to
a
give.
deadline. They're
After
working to
reading
one
that
second,
Chief
one
Justice
second.
said, "Bhaiya, fifth ko aa
Now
jao."
you're speaking over me.
Sorry, I apologize.
The Supreme Court, if it thought that the CBI was not to be relied upon, would not have given them a second matter to investigate also. So CBI is also now going to be investigating the antecedents of the doctor, who, of course, is being promoted, shielded, sponsored by Mamata Banerjee. Now, I agree, no one has time for anyone throwing stones at the police.
Burning cars?
I'm saying no one has time for that.
You know,
no
I
one,
can't
one
use
second,
the word.
one second,
On
just
the
1
Howrah
minute,
Bridge,
just
the
1
word
second.
used. You'll have to
now,
beat
1 second,
me.
now listen to
Now,
me.
how do
Now,
you
1
know-
second, 1 second, listen to me. Tehseen Poonawala. And this is fundamental. Do you remember those protesters who were at the Shinghu border?
Yes.
On Republic Day, no less.
Yeah. The Home Minister failed,
No,
Amit
one
Shah
second.
ji.
Now, Home Minister failed.
He failed?
No, 1 second. Now, Home Minister failed.
course he
They
failed.
broke through the barriers, viewers.
Has led his
No,
party
1
to
second,
a
1
third
second, 1 second,
consecutive
1
defeat in
second.
Lok Sabha elections.
Arey, 1
And
second.
Tehseen Poonawala is giving certificates to
Okay,
Union
1
Home
second.
Minister.
1
Thodi
second.
sharam karo.
And guess what happened?
Home
1 second.
Minister didn't know. They removed the
Okay.
Indian flag and put a Khalistan flag. Home
Okay.
Minister could do nothing.
Viewers-
He should have
viewers-
resigned in shame that day.
Viewers,
India's flag hasn't come down since the British
viewers,
left.
there were civil rights activists who turned those protesters into victims. Even trumped up a story about how one of them was shot. Can you believe it, viewers?
One of your colleagues.
No, 1
Coming
second.
for 20
No,
seconds.
1 second. Yes, I'll bring you in, no problems. Tehseen Poonawala will go up against Sanju Verma now. I have no problems in that. That's a fun contest to watch. But viewers, I want to tell you that there is a problem today in Bengal. Whether it's the Supreme Court pointing it out in the context of not providing a level playing field for elections to take place, which is the place where voters express themselves, to the street, where the Bengali youth is not being allowed to express itself, viewers.
Arey, how youth like this throwing stones?
Let me now bring in
These
Sanju
bricks
Verma and
burning.
Tehseen Poonawala.
This is
Okay.
Thank you.
Sanju Verma.
Tehseen, you will have
Sure.
your say. I can see
Please,
you are sitting
please
in the
speak.
studio.
Please speak. You're outside the studio. Please speak.
Thank you for being gracious. You know, I did not want to make this about BJP versus Congress today because the focus should be on Mamata Banerjee and her fascism. But since Tehseen has chosen to drag the BJP into it, my simple rebuttal is this. The year was 2021. The place was a city, a small town actually in Rajasthan called Hanumangarh. Farmers in Rajasthan under Ashok Gehlot regime were protesting. They wanted that bajra should be procured at MSP, which Ashok Gehlot had promised. Peaceful protest out of the blue when Ashok Gehlot could not control the situation. Farmers were lathi charged, and in 2022-23, the widows of Pulwama martyrs, some of whom belong to Rajasthan, they were only wanting the compensation which had been promised to them by Ashok Gehlot, but he denied them that compensation. Widows of Pulwama martyrs were thrashed by male policemen, black and blue, and very recently, Tehseen, since you are the champion of free speech, there are videos viral on social media. Revant Reddy and his dispensation has come down heavily on journalists who are questioning him, including female journalists who were thrashed black and blue last week
That
for
is true.
simply raising
That's
their
a
voice
fact.
and asking governance-related questions of Revant
So,
Reddy,
respond.
which every journalist
Respond.
is entitled to do.
Respond to Sanju Verma.
So I am saying, because Ashok Gehlot or Revant Reddy is beating up people in
now
Delhi.
comes the
in
argument, viewers.
Delhi, in
Two
Delhi.
wrongs make a right.
No, so in Delhi, Jantar Mantar, they'll drag our champions by the head.
So
they'll
viewers-
put them on the ground.
Viewers,
the
remember one
BJP
thing.
does what Congress does.
Okay,
So why
remember
doesn't
one
the
thing.
BJP
How
follows
did I
the
begin
Congress?
my line of questioning with Tehseen Punal? I asked him simply this. Is Mr. Chaudhary, who is the tallest leader from the Congress in Bengal, a true servant of the Congress party? And in all honesty, he said, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And what is he saying, viewers? Forget about the BJP today. Forget about how two-faced the BJP may or may not be. He himself is saying that Mamata Banerjee has become a dictator. Does that not behove Rahul Gandhi, the soldier, the self-styled soldier, the crusader for democracy, to come out there on the streets, stand side by side as he did with the farmers, as he did with the wrestlers, as he did, viewers, with the Shaheen Bagh grandmothers? Today, will he come and stand in sympathy with the students? Viewers, while our channel might be showing you one clip of 5 or 6 people throwing stones, there are many others who are showing even worse, viewers, of state brutality and oppression. We have tried to keep it balanced visually, viewers. But today, let me say, and I want to ask Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, when we look upon this day, Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, even if it is the BJP today in these protests, even if it is them, can we deny that today they are at least on the right side of the argument?
They are on the right side of the argument, Rahul. I think the much more important thing we need to remember is the parallel is not to Bangladesh. The parallel is in fact to, 2013, 2014, when the Delhi rape happened. And the police here similarly cracked down and was tear gassing and water cannoning protesters who were standing up for Nirbhaya. And look what happened after that. So here you have a complete aura of a state collapse that is augmented by state connivance in the cover-up of the crime, far worse than what happened with UPA 2. Because the state wasn't conniving or trying to cover up out there. Here it seems to be doing just that. And compounded by the sheer incompetence of the police. The Delhi police were not incompetent. They were a bit over-enthusiastic. This police has been incompetent from day one, from the investigation now to crowd control.
Well, viewers, it's the courts themselves. It's the courts themselves who have backed what Mr. Iyer is saying. They themselves have come out and said that the administration has failed the people of that state. Now, viewers, if the Chief Minister is above reason, then unfortunately, she is going to lose more and more support amongst the people who put her in office. And that's not going to augur well. I leave it at this, viewers. We need to move on because there is another state